Hi, this is Mike. Here's a couple more tips on where you will find the actual nutritional facts. Most importantly, the grams of protein and carbohydrates in a given food. There's a lot of categories of food. There's most foods that you would find at the store, a grocery store, a supermarket, will actually have a label on the package, the jar, the can, the bottle. Some fresh produce now actually has a label on it in some cases. So if that's the case, you don't need to go looking. The exact specific details of that food are right there in front of you. You don't have to read the whole label or understand the whole label. You're looking for two things, protein and carbohydrates. And you don't need to know everything about those. You just need to follow it over to the right, and it doesn't matter if that is measured in ounces or grams or whatever measurement, it doesn't matter because you're only looking for a ratio. So there'll be one number that comes up for carbohydrates and one number that comes up for grams. Be careful to look for a decimal point because sometimes if a food has a half of a gram, it'll be called 0.5. And if you don't look carefully, you might think it has 5 grams. So look carefully at the label. Then there's a lot of things that we make at home. You know, if you make something at home, if you home make your own sauces or soups or jellies or jams or salsas, then you actually have to look at the ingredients that you're putting in. Something as simple as a salsa should have virtually no protein in it whatsoever if it's tomatoes and onions and peppers and some tomato sauce. But if you pour some tomato sauce in from a can or a jar, maybe that jar had a pasta sauce of some type that could have had a lot of carbs or a little protein in it. So when you make something at home, you have to look at the individual ingredients and add them up. The same thing, you can still look them up on livestrong.com or one of the other websites we give you. And then individual foods that you don't know about, like produce and things that you buy at the grocery store, the easiest thing is either to use one of the sites we give you, like livestrong.com, or use Google itself and look up articles. You can get them to be very specific by typing in, for instance, if it's hummus that you're concerned about, maybe you have a hummus recipe or maybe you use a certain brand, you can actually type in, let's say the brand that you use is Acme Hummus Nutritional Facts, or Acme Hummus Protein Carbohydrates. You can type those 4 words into your Google search bar and hit search, and I promise you it will come up with the label ingredients, the ingredients and the carbohydrate and protein content of that food. The reason we mention this is some people find the program a little bit difficult, or some of their favorite foods don't come with a label, or they're homemade products or something they get at a farmer's market or a friend gives to them, and they wonder if they can eat it. So this is the method. You could ask the friend if it was a product made by a friend, what are the ingredients, just so I can figure this out for my diet. Or you can type it into Google and see what the net results as far as protein and carbohydrates are before you decide with how can you use it and what can it be mixed with before you consume it. Thanks.